Hey neighbors, got a minute? Hey, when was the last time you had a really good steak? Now, y'all may find this awkward that I'm asking about steak, since many of you believe that my family doesn't eat meat anymore. And we didn't for several years, but we're back into eating meat again, and there's really very few things that are as good as a really good steak. But why this talk about steak? Well, because God put together a little story, orchestrated an experience that I want to tell you about. So what happened was this. A man in our church called me several weeks ago, and he said, Pastor, I've got a bunch of steak, some leftover steak, extra steak that was given to me, and I just can't keep it. I need to give it to somebody who could really use it. So I told him, I said, well, hey, man, let's hang up. I'll pray about it. You be praying about it, and I bet the Lord will tell us exactly who needs this stuff. Well, it didn't take long before the Lord impressed upon me that Angel Reach, one of our ministry partners in Conroe that serves underprivileged young guys and girls who are at the risk of homelessness, many of them have graduated from the foster care system. I said, I bet they could use them. So I connected this man with Dan Alexander, who runs Angel Reach, and kind of walked away from it. Well, last week I got the newsletter from Angel Reach where the executive director, Dan, is telling a story of how he received these steaks as a donation, as a gift. He was hosting a men's night out for the young men to have steak together. And at that event, that gathering, one of the young men looked down at his plate and he said, hey guys, what kind of hamburger is this? Well, all the boys started laughing. They said, it's not a hamburger, that's a steak. And this 19-year-old young man had never had a steak before. He was about to taste one of the best things he could put in his mouth. But at 19, he had never had one before. And the story, what's heartwarming to me is to think that this guy in our church who had extra just wanted to put it in the hands of someone who needed it. And by the grace of God and the hands of God, the providence, God took some leftover steaks and put it in front of a 19-year-old kid who had never had one before. I just suspect that, that boy will be looking for his next steak, and the guy who donated them will probably never look at steak in the same way. We all have been given so much, and we've been given it to share with the people around us. And I just wonder how God might be waiting to invite you into one of these types of stories in the days ahead. Be on the lookout for them. We're going to get together this coming Sunday and worship together again. We're in Exodus chapters 11 to 13, and I hope you'll be with us in worship at 9 or 11. See you then. God bless y'all.